Sports in Germany, it is EnTe. And the top right in the yellow, the Frenchman, probably playing quite different than the norm would suggest, is KraV.
Definitely an unconventional player. That was a great interview with him, by the way. I love the part about Starbuck, where he was like, oh yeah, like, my manager told me, go and play with Starbuck, and then he opened his arms to me. That was just great. And it still left some questions for me, though, as in, how does KraV walk through doors with his arms of his?
Yeah, he's been putting in the work, man. He's been having those gains. Hell yeah, perhaps from Camp Knopf, we have some impressive specimen in there. Impressive specimen as far as heroes goes is Cryptlord. Here we go, Todd. This is not going to be a Ted Fiend standard. This is going to be Cryptlord expansion against a Ted Fiend build. This is always the most interesting mirror matches where two different strategies face off against each other.
Yeah, and I feel like it's really been figured out exactly like what the priorities are now for both players. Like if you're KraV, obviously you want to put up the expansion as easily as possible behind this. You want to be able to start landing surrounds, whether it's on Fiends or on the hero of your opponents. And for EnTe, you want to make the opponent's life miserable, steal some creeps here and there, go into a few Fiends, get Dark Ranger second for Black Arrow, and then as soon as you step on Blight, you have some real pushing potential against Ghouls, which is all your opponent is going to be relying on.
KraV delaying the creeping here of the first camp by a bit. You don't want to go for the natural right away. Oh, and EnTe triggers a purge from the creeps. If you don't manually do that well enough, sometimes you run in. Doesn't cost him much HP, but a bit of damage is what he received here. And KraV is going to finish almost the full camp without the DK arriving in time. And he doesn't have a sacrificial skull yet, by the way.
Yeah, out of KraV, I don't expect one base. Usually, the German undeads, I want to say, in particular one and EnTe, were the ones to use that a lot more and staying on one base with the Cryptlord sometimes, but maybe he's been learning from them. Maybe he's turning their strategies against them as well here. That would be cool to see something like that. But yeah, there's no extra acolytes. KraV could actually start his stack here in a second.
Very unusual, and the game of weirdness begins. Oh, one acolyte actually stuck there in the back. It's gonna be EnTe who gets an acolyte kill. A little unfortunate here for KraV. He wasn't expecting this one, gonna slow down his tech even more. But I've seen many games of KraV before where he's threatening an expansion, not going for it. Teching tier 2, waiting for nighttime, for an awkward timing, and then on the way to tier 2 or on tier 2, while he's harassing, he's gonna go for that expansion probably at some point. And by the way, bring out a lot of ghouls right now.
Yeah, he's gonna attack actually. I thought this was gonna be a double fake. He fakes that he doesn't take the expansion, but then he actually takes it. But no, he's taking, but he's still going for an attack. KraV loves this attack. He loves getting at the back of the gold mine of the opponents and just target down that gold mine and click down on these acolytes as well. But EnTe, he realized that this was coming with some great scouting, so he's in position to intercept it, but he doesn't have many units against
the tower. EnTe, where's the spirit tower? He's not making it, and the DK doesn't have a TP anymore. Oh, this could be really scary right here. These surrounds could be deadly. Fiend couldn't go in yet, would have been an easy surround there. EnTe was kind of trying to block the way towards the Haunted Gold Mine. That didn't exactly work out. If the Cryptlord is dropping lower or he's getting surrounded and a TP is forced, that might be the best thing that could happen. 3 acolytes surrounded! Triple surround! At least one is going down, and EnTe not ready for this defense. He's getting surrounded on the DK, and he can't get out there either.
Yeah, he has 2 acolytes left here. The Cryptlord on the other side is taking a lot of damage by KraV. He needs to pull back for a little bit. He's clicking down on the main base. That's a mistake. I feel like he should be fighting the units, but he's actually trying to kill the Nerubian Tower, and there's only those 2 acolytes that are not in position to repair. Don't tell me he kills the Nerubian Tower. Kevin would lose his mind.
He can't get in range. It's fully surrounded. The Nerub Tower's gonna go down, and that means he's supply blocked. He can't even make any more than these 3 acolytes. Cryptlord is really low HP. Death Knight, Impale. That could be his end. That could be the game right here.
Oh my god, the DK is gonna go down. He's not in range of the shot, just barely not.
Oh my god. Couldn't go for the potion. It's just too much stuff here. Too many units. EnTe perhaps slightly out of position to deal with this push, but especially not having a spirit tower. Such a huge mistake. I'm sorry to be so blunt, but it really was. And this is just devastating game-ending damage
Okay, more beetles gonna be summoned. Acolytes are not safe anywhere. They get surrounded again. Oh my goodness. EnTe's income is non-existent.
Oh
and
my
behind his
lordy.
KraV, he's been keeping up with the ghoul production on his side. He's got tier 2 about to finish. So it's not like, you know, he was all in and now he's like super far behind. No, he dealt so much damage that DK will come back into the game, but without a time portal. Remember, he used that. So now it's still very dangerous for him to move out.
I can't even sell anything. 3 acolytes now. He has to wait a bit longer for the ziggurat and then wait even longer to make more acolytes. Oh my.
Forces are under attack.
That's horrible. That's terrible. It's even worse than when you're meeting up or trying to meet up for a dinner with a friend. He's not showing up.
No, that's worse.
Come on, guys.
KraV rushed to tier 3, by the way. Like, as soon as tier 2 finished, he started that, then went for the DK. I'm guessing Slaughterhouse is going to be next. So he's just playing really solid behind this. Probably very happy with his lead. So DK second, usually Lich third. Probably a transition into Fiends, even though, I mean, he's facing a very few Fiends and a wrecked economy. He could actually play with a lot of Ghouls and Frenzy, maybe.
And the Script Lord is going to be super leveled. Is this going to be that one time in a blue moon where the one of Mana Steel is going to be used against the creeps? It might not even be too bad. Every one of Mana Steel charge is going to give you 2 more beetles. We'll see.
Forces are under attack.
KraV now moving very aggressively, waiting for his second hero. DK going to pop out now. In the tier 3, already halfway done, even more than that. Dude, I'm waiting for the Acolytes to be finished in the gold mine. We're going to take a look-see, Lou. And it's not going to be pretty, man. I can tell you.
Is it ever, Remo?
You mean the Haunted Gold Mine? I mean, as a human player,
is it
probably
ever
not-
pretty?
I'm not sure what you're trying to get at, but I
Said it's not
suppose
gonna be
not is-
pretty.
Well, what you want me to say is, I guess not. All right, Acolyte number 5 finally rejoins the gang. 10, 250. Oh my god, what is that? That's more than 1,000 gold difference. 1,100 difference plus the Acolytes he lost. Big Ripperoo.
Criplord being almost 4 is so worrying as well, because he's gonna have Impel too, but
Town is under
DK shows up on the other side. EnTe running back home. Remember, he has no town portal, nor does he have his stuff. Lightning shielded beetle chasing down ghouls. I really would have seen it all with KraV's games.
Yeah, this is a great showcase for KraV. This attack is probably not the most efficient thing he could have done. He could have just crept DK level 2 and 3 in the meantime, but you know, he makes the games wild. You never know what's going to happen. It's so hard to prepare for KraV. Some ghouls are going down here now. KraV would love to snipe some fiends, but the level 2 coil now is very effective. Beetles again in the back. They're still hard to deal with. More beetles being summoned, acolytes being moved away, but now there is the aura for EnTe finally. He's defending this pretty well. Pretty damn well, honestly. He lost nothing here so far. So this was not the best move for KraV, but still, he's got that huge tech lead.
Yeah, there's an infestation in his base. He needs to call the exterminator. Ring out the duck detergent, man. Try and clear out those beetles out of there. And behind this KraV, again, you know, he's playing very solid. Ghoul frenzy on the way. He didn't attack with ghouls here. It was just mostly beetles, right? So he still has a bunch of them left over. And Lich about to come out with Orb against an EnTe who only now started tier 3.
We might be able to steal the item as well. That would be sick. But no, actually, EnTe's going to be there in time to secure the item for himself. DK for KraV doesn't need level 3 really, but would love to have level 2. Cryptid also extremely close to 4, but has no mana himself. Lich coming in from the main with the orb. Ghouls do have frenzy, and a surround here could finish the game.
Yeah, EnTe needs to pull back entirely here, perhaps. Lich shows up with Nova. That might be it here, the way to seal the deal. He doesn't quite have an Holy Aura yet, so he's a bit slower. Those ghouls, though, wow. Frenzy. Why is EnTe chasing him? You poking the bear, EnTe?
He's
Just like
trying to
Leonardo.
work with his aura right now, but his DPS is just so low. Only 2 fiends. I like that by KraV, splitting his forces. The Cryptlord and the Lich to zone, and the DK and the ghouls to creep the camp, and that's gonna be the last hidden item for him. So he mask very good, not quite yet level 2. Beautiful Nova by EnTe, but he's eating the Impale in return, and it's gonna be a Nova follow-up. So much control. Between Impale and Nova, the important thing is to stagger them, not to overlap the control, but if you stagger those with stun and slow, it's just so much chase and kill potential for KraV. Only thing here that's worrying for him is mana, of which he doesn't have that much anymore. But he's got the triple hero online, and if these heroes reach like more level ups, they scale insanely well into the late game.
Yeah, EnTe is trying to do what he can here with some kiting, trying to take out some of the ghouls, but it's tough. Without orb, he needs to wait out the orb, somehow try to get a bit more of an army. You know, if you could get up to 4 or 5 pins. But KraV, he goes in his space and he clicks on the altar. He's not even respecting the army of EnTe. He's like, I can just click that down. There's nothing you can do about it.
If he destroys the altar, that means no Dark Ranger, which would usually be the choice as a third hero. Pretty hard to micro right now for EnTe. He doesn't have a Narrow here. No slow at the moment to deal with this onslaught, and a Lich in trouble for EnTe goes down. No coil there ready. He had a mana potion, but perhaps a bit too late on the trigger. And EnTe's gonna call for the GG, and KraV takes the 1-0.
Damn, that was pretty impressive and a great showcase of KraV's power in this very matchup for sure. Like, that's just what he does, right? Make things weird, make things abnormal, I guess. And this undead flood into EnTe's base was absolutely brutal.
Yeah, EnTe did identify it fairly quick. He TP'd back home, which I'm also not sure is the right call necessarily, but he wanted to spam those skeletons quickly, which is certainly not bad. So he knew it was coming, but again, not having a Spirit Tower there, big mistake. He could have upgraded it easily. Normally you even want to make the Spirit Tower before the next Fiend, because the Spirit Tower takes longer, and then they arrive both at the same time, the Fiend and the Spirit Tower, and then you have a pretty good defense. Until then you have to juggle around the Acolytes and so on. So really not the cleanest defense there by EnTe, getting caught off guard, and you know, that's the thing. Not many people play this style. Like, it's KraV and who else really, so you don't get that much practice against this kind of playstyle.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he had it coming, he knew the groups for quite a bit, so I guess it's the same as if you draw Sonic as your first round opponent, just try to be ready for everything, but that's not possible in RTS, is it?
Yeah, I don't know if it's that extreme, because with Sonic it's literally everything. With KraV it's very often a Crypt Lord, some sort of Crypt Lord somewhere in there. But yeah, he's definitely somewhat unpredictable with, you know, the creep route he's gonna use, where he's gonna, like, you have to constantly scout. It was a good thing for EnTe that he scouted early, but the fact that he got purged, he got there a little late, so he had no chance to steal that first small creep. And then after that, things just really escalated. He didn't see the follow-up attack coming. That's the one he needed to really see coming, get a Spirit Tower, and then defend.
All right, then. Looks like we're getting ready for map 2. That is then Last Refuge. Northern Isles was KraV's map, and now we go into EnTe territory. Could be a horrible start in the tournament for all the Ducks. Pato lost yesterday to Hitman. EnTe is about to lose now, or looks like it 4 now at least. And later, the American Duck is playing InSub, also not too easy.
What about Starduck, though?
Starduck,
Starduck
is a fake duck, you know. He's it doesn't really count yet.
Yeah, I wonder what's going to be played here next by EnTe. His shape, maybe he's not too comfortable right now in Undead Mirror if it's outside of DK Fiends, because normally the way it goes is Cryptlord does really well against DK does really well against Lich, and Lich does really well against Cryptlord. And against KraV, you can almost be sure that it's going to be a Cryptlord that he's going to be playing. But EnTe, who played Lich in the past, hasn't played it that much recently, and I think he just doesn't feel comfortable right now with that style. We'll see what he's going to play here on map 2.
KraV made a tweet, by the way.
KraV made a tweet? Okay, let's pull it up real quick before we move into this game. Man, you're keeping me on my toes here. There it is. I must admit I was confident for the first map. Thanks, Alisa. You take me one Acolyte, I'll take yours. All right.
I remember EnTe surrounded an Acolyte in KraV's base in the start, so it was like the counter attack definitely took way more than that.
Take me one Acolyte. I'll take all of yours. Now I got it. I'm a little slow today as well. Sorry about that. Okay, then it's great. Let's see if that happens again. It's EnTe versus KraV, the Frenchman with the lead.
We go on to last refuge, and again we're going to be seeing a ghoul opening by KraV. What's the hero though? That's the bigger question. Lich this time. And that's the strength of KraV. That's the cool thing with KraV. He's not entirely predictable. He is going to play something off meta, that's what you know. But what exactly, you're not going to be so easily able to tell. Cryptlord is probably the strongest option, but also Lich can be good. Now, however, EnTe has the better matchup. He's playing DK Fiends, which favors or matches up against Lich pretty well if you know how to do it. The important thing for the Death Knight here is to creep up a little bit, but importantly, slow down the level 3 Lich as well. The general rule of thumb here is being stuck on level 2 is better for the DK. Being stuck on level 3 is better for the Lich because he's going to pick up the boots and have a lot of damage. So, EnTe already, I think, looking a bit better here just from the build on map 2.
EnTe actually got ensnared on his Acolyte and took a lot of damage. I think maybe he went a little too deep looking for a critter. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I'm so surprised that EnTe has the light of his webcam on, by the way. Like, it's... This has to bother you, I feel like, when you play. And it doesn't automatically turn on, I thought, like when you have your cam on. So maybe, I don't know, maybe he doesn't know, like he can just spin the camera, because I have the same one. You can just spin it a little bit and it turns off the lights. It's the same actually for the allied health colors, for the health bars, you know? You know, EnTe is like one of the only players that play with this.
Yeah.
And like I think it's turned on by default when you start playing Refuge. Which is an absolute shame, by the way, because I feel like nobody should ever play with that, but I guess maybe it helps him see better with the colors.
Yeah, maybe it is easier for him to identify the units quickly where they are, but I also... Honestly, this is what always makes me not watch EnTe stream, because I'm like, oh my god, these health bars, I can't watch this. And here we have the attack coming into the undead base. EnTe was trying to go for some end snares earlier, but that didn't exactly work out too well. Good base build. It's hard for the Lich to reach the back of the base, really like this far forward narrow tower with which the Lich is getting controlled. But the ghouls in the back, they're still finding the connection. However, at the moment, not too many kills yet. One Acolyte gonna go down. It's gonna be more out of Necromancy now for KraV. And again, we're counting the Acolytes. Losing 2 Acolytes here is fine. Losing more is gonna hurt.
Yeah, this doesn't look like the best attack here so far. If EnTe can keep on saving Acolytes, this actually is gonna kind of feed his Death Knight experience-wise. One of the Acolytes will go down at the back here. I think, yeah, that base was kind of built and designed to help counter this type of rush, and it didn't do too bad after all.
Yeah, this was honestly horrible for KraV. This was 4 ghouls going down for only 2 Acolytes. That's not a good trade at all. The DK level 2 already. Without any creeping here so far. And the Lich is hurt, which means he's going to have to go for Ritual Dagger, which actually for him is pretty good. The tech lead is still with KraV by a little bit. But yeah, this was definitely much better for the German.
For sure, yeah. From there, it seems like it's very straightforward, right? You creep to level 3. When you're tier 2, you know, you'll grab that Lich and you can start playing a lot more aggressive. Like losing this many ghouls in the start of the game against a Fiend player, it can get very snowbally for the Fiend player in terms of like how much of an advantage you're gonna have. And do you like the base of EnTe?
Yeah, I think it's good. I'm always a big fan of narrow tower in front, especially against Lich aggression. It's super good, but also it doesn't come with much of a downside. Even if he's getting pushed at some point later, this is still a decent position to repair. It can be tricky if you're trying to get into the base and you have to swerve around, but it's pretty good if you ask me. And KraV trying to continue to be aggressive, not creeping level 3 quickly here, which is kind of unusual.
Yeah, I think so. When he finally, when the attack was finally defended, he saw that the tech hadn't started. So he knows that at best right now, the tech will be like midway through done. So by attacking the way he's doing it now, he's trying to do the same as last game. Just wreck the economy of EnTe and say, okay, well, you cannot really replenish from this. I feel like he probably should commit though with the Lich. Just Nova again, kill some Acolytes and then TP out. Because if he lets all of those ghouls and skellies die on their own, this is going to be a disaster. DK is already 3.
Yeah, true. He absolutely should have gone in there because he needs to TP out anyways. He can't afford to lose all these ghouls. You hit the nail on the head. And this is going to be a lot of ghoul losses here once again. Lich is trying to get some more Acolytes. Oh, that coil misses. So it's 3 Acolytes about to be dead. Another one is surrounded in the corner. Tiny micro mistake here by EnTe. Oh, he's out of mana on the DK. So another Acolyte is going to go down. Heavy investment by KraV. but he's getting a few acolytes, quite a few I should say, in the end. Oh my god, that one acolyte. It actually makes a huge difference whether or not this one survives, and it shall.
The one that got away, Remo.
Don't I know that story all too well.
Hey, well, except you're the one always going away.
Well, there have been a few who got away, let me tell you. This game, there have been a lot of ghouls who went down. Like, in this attack, 4 ghouls died, and the first one, 4 ghouls died. So this was really expensive for KraV. He could tech right now to tier 3 in a moment, but he's far, far away from having a scary army.
Yeah, KraV definitely should creep now to level 3. He's gonna do that here, the merchants. You're probably hoping for... I guess the greater healing would be okay, because he's low on hit points, but... usually you'll grab a DK sometime soon, which he's already getting. So greater mana probably the best still by far here. Same thing on the other side for EnTe, who spent his entire mana pool. Gets a 1 mana stealing here.
Alright, acolyte number 5 hopping in a moment. I'm gonna play my favorite game, How Much Gold Is Missing. And I imagine it's gonna be quite a bit. I don't think it's gonna be as bad as game 1. 9.3k. Okay, it's pretty much the same. It's again a 1,000 gold difference. But this time it was much more expensive for KraV.
Yeah, for sure. DK is level 4. That's nuts, actually.
Yeah.
At this stage already, like... as the Lich finally reached level 3. Of course, it's Unholy Aura level 2, and... not a good timing to fight here with just 3 Fiends. Imagine if he starts losing some of them. A Nova landing here would kill that 1 Fiend at the bottom. That's not supposed to happen.
It's 200 damage, the threshold, so EnTe is still fine there. He's got 2 coils. Level 2 aura so quickly is so good for EnTe, by the way. It's really amazing. Oh, he gets another acolyte who was just moving out to build something. Oh, is he going to cancel the tech for that, though?
Probably not worth. Yeah. I think he can just creep to try and make up for lost gold and, like... yeah, you can't delay tech that much. Especially because now he has his own Lich, so he cannot wait to finally add Orb on that. Whereas on the other side, I'm guessing we're going to be playing Ghoul Frenzy the whole way here for KraV.
Going for a Slaughterhouse. If he had a better game, maybe he could just harass with the Lich right now, go for the Acolytes over and over, creep with the DK, and then go for Worms? Which is a possibility, but on the top level, that's extremely hard to make work. They just have such a huge window of weakness where they can get punished very easily. If ever you manage to get to 70 supply, Worms, Ghouls, Garrics, it's really good. But getting there is oftentimes impossible.
Worms? Have you been talking to Edo Boy on his vacation or what?
No, man, that is experience from ladder. If you play it too slow and you allow the opponent to have a maxed out Worm army, it's really strong.
Oh, the Lich.
Just get... yeah. He snuck in here. I think EnTe even saw it with the sentry ward, but he didn't react quickly. He had a sentry right there at the shop where the invis was happening. It's only one acolyte going down, though.
Was he watching?
It's not even that bad.
Oh, missing 2 acolytes. Yeah, I guess the tech will finally finish, but there's still the production time of the acolytes. We'll see the goal difference in a few moments, but KraV definitely doing some right things here, and he's buying his own orb now. Sells the staff immediately, it served its purpose already. And he got a Sobi mask.
Great creeping by KraV in the meantime. He crept this Merc camp, which is really hard to do with ghouls only, and he kept them all alive. Great multitasking by the Frenchman. Sobi mask could be crazy region, especially for this Lich.
I mean, KraV's a father. Of course he knows how to take care of the little ones.
That's true.
Is he just gonna stay on ghouls the whole time? Like, aren't you meant to transition into fiends at some point? I guess he's getting frenzy now, and we'll see after. And also, like, do you always want to get a third hero here for both players? I guess so, right? So when it's DK Lich, there is meant to be a Dark Ranger third. But if you're the one playing ghouls still?
He's actually making Boneyard, dude. And he's making it in the most conspicuous position ever. Just like, look at me! He's trying to spread that blight, you know.
Imagine if EnTe reveals the main base a little to the right. A little too much right.
He doesn't see it.
300 IQ. He's sending Skelly, which will get intercepted. Oh, but there's one coming in from the top left. Actually, it's gonna expire before it reaches the Boneyard.
Oh my god. He's not gonna see it in time, is he? Hell no. He should be going for web anyways, because Gogs are always gonna be in the mix, usually, against destroyers.
Here we go. KraV trying to harass his units are not actually there. Dreadlord third, so he wants to sleep that Lich. Now, I could have used a Dreadlord last night, man. Mosquitoes tormenting me. I couldn't sleep until like 8:30 a.m.
Are under attack.
Maybe you should get one of those mosquito nets.
Did this work?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, probably not.
I think so. Otherwise, it's just a huge scam, and they've been scamming people for years.
Yeah, that would be unacceptable. I can't think
You
of
would be
anyone
calling them right away and complaining, like you do with your ISP.
Wow.
Am I wrong?
I mean, are you not allowed to complain about your ISP when you pay money and then they give you
No,
a garbage service
no,
that disconnects midstream, Remo?
I think you are perfectly within your right to do this. Oh, the Lich! Whew. Use the heal potion. That might be good enough. He's surrounded by the Ogre Lord. He's gonna have to TP out here. Oh my lordy.
That escalated quickly. Oof.
The Dreadlord creeping in the meantime, trying to get level 2. Takes him a lot of mana to do this, though. A lot easier for EnTe to creep with Fiends the statues. And he got a great item. Oh my god, Ancient Django. He's gonna be so fast.
Do you think that if you still needed a sacrificial pit to get boneyards, KraV still would have gone for this?
Yeah, I could see it. Especially this game, he had a lot of lumber earlier.
Actually, oh, he got Wand of the Wind. Sleep and Wand of the Wind.
Yeah, this is super good. Lich level 4 is also a big deal. This one is going to provide him so much mana now. I hope he doesn't do it like I did a couple of years ago on ladder and misclicks and eats the Frostworm. It gives you a lot of mana, but let me tell you, it's not worth it.
Yeah, I saw the clip of Mad Frog doing that as well. That's when you wish you were streaming with delay and then you just cut the OBS and be like, yeah, ignore the delay. Nobody ever sees it.
And he
did
got
a
two
good
red
job of
camp
grabbing
items here. Yeah, he got the Helm of Valor on the Dark Ranger. That's amazing, as Neo always likes pointing out. Really good. Dreadlord's gonna need some more levels here as well. Aura is gonna be very helpful, but more importantly, level 2 Sleep is super strong against DK. Sleep the DK over and over and then hunt down those fiends one by one. And EnTe pushing into the main base is quite daring.
He saw the boneyard finally and probably said, Was?
Was ist da los? Also probably knows that he forced the TP earlier, so it's gonna force a TP repurchase. Some Acolyte's gonna go down here. EnTe has to TP out ASAP. Although statues very exposed in the back. One going down, but only one.
And these acolytes are not safe on either side of the map this whole series. How big of a game changer is Banshees? Like when you get a bunch of them for a
Huge. Absolutely massive. Once EnTe has 70 supply Fiend Banshees, the Worm player almost can't win anymore. Unless you have crazy ghoul surrounds with sleeps and heal scrolls and stuff, but this AMS is going to make all the difference in the world.
Yeah. Of course, because Frostworms do magic damage, so can completely nullify that. What's the right amount of Banshees, would you say? Like 5, 6? Does it not matter so much?
Forces are under attack.
It depends on the army size you have. Like, normally, 1 Banshee for every 2 Fiends is kind of decent. So in the big army, like, yeah, 5, 6. With Adept training. Master, not really necessary here. Oh, and KraV gonna get caught in the corner. He does not have a TP here, so he's gonna have to take this fight, which perhaps he's not quite ready for. But the Wand of the Wind coming in. EnTe doesn't have destroyers right now. He needs destroyers.
He's not, It's not morphing any. All of his fiends are falling very rapidly. The Frostworm is being targeted, but he can get coiled. And it wills. It will. Oh my god, the sleep has been so effective. EnTe, did you just know about a turtle? That turtle wants a piece of the action as well.
Archranger dropping low, Coil coming in last second, but EnTe might be able to turn this now. Frostworm is taken out, no more sleep here in the mix. Dreadlord getting focused now next. Banshee getting taken out as well, but the army size has dwindled significantly for KraV. Doesn't have much left. The Lich in the back, they're also dropping very low. And EnTe might be clutching this out in the end. Also getting more and more skeletons here, very nice for him, but Destroyer is in the air for KraV to dispel against those. I can't believe EnTe doesn't have a Destroyer. Did he
almost
forget
has
about the
DK
upgrade,
level
maybe?
5. He almost has the DK level 5 here. Gonna use AMS on it because he's already low. He wants to negate the damage from a potential Nova. KraV kinda low on unit count here. His DK is getting targeted. Can he get away? 7 hit points, 8 hit points. There's a hit coming in from the Fiends from across the map. And now that Snow and Holy Aura, the Dreadlord goes down as well. And KraV tries to retreat back home. That was a brawl.
Yeah, they could have easily gone the other way as well. I think KraV with a bit better execution. If he had focused the Fiends right away, like he had so much disabled between Sleep and Cyclone, he could have, with better control, taken out all the Fiends pretty quickly and then could have had perhaps a better fight. But the heroes for EnTe are just so strong now. 5, 4, and 3.
He was kind of blocking himself, I think, right? Because he was like a choke from left to right, and there was like a lot of units standing there and kind of blocking one another. There's only one Fiend though, and there's 3 air units. The Gargoyle is the one that gets swept. Trying to go for the DK now. Remember, KraV has no Death Skull. His DK is still in the altar being remade right now. And Lich in danger. It's gonna go down, I think. It does.
GG is called. We got the 1-1. And a fun series on our hands here.
Series is tied indeed. EnTe claims his map and has finally arrived at DreamHack. Yo, that was a fun creep jack bottom right, man. These bottom right, upper left positions, they're so dangerous. But yeah, KraV felt like he had to catch up. Inexperience probably, and there was a risk, and in the end that was a punishment there as well. But absolutely fun series. Can't wait what kind of first hero we see now. We saw Dreadlord, we saw Cryptlord, we saw Lich already. Next map and deciding map is Tidehunters. So we're gonna be right back after the last European break. saying, Todd? Do you want to take over the host role?
Hog.
Very eloquent. I mean, that sums it up perfectly, right? Do we have to say anything more?
Yeah, it's been a POG series. What can I say? It's been entertaining. You know, we see a lot of attacks, a lot of weird attacks, brawls everywhere. We've been talking about animals all day. This turtle. If you were ever wondering if turtles are fight or flight, I think you got the answer with that one in the bottom right-hand side of the map. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we got the answer with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles back in the 80s already, but that confirms it, I guess. Yeah, Todd, we know you love Undead Mirror as much as the next guy. Remo, next map is Tidehunters.
Yeah, this, I think, is going to be a double Cryptid expansion game. This map is really good for Cryptid expanding because you get level 1.8 right away that the opponent can't do anything about. And following that, you're going to have an easy expansion as well to go for. The DK Harass has a very tough time dealing with this. If you're going Lich Harass, perhaps a different story. But yeah, I think it's going to be good old Mass Beetle Mania again. Like a couple of DreamHacks ago.
All right then, good old times. A trip to memory lane, and I am pretty sure that Todd is gonna enjoy that one a lot. EnTe versus KraV, the decision in Group D.
Well, I am afraid to say, ladies and gentlemen, my prediction was not correct, as EnTe again is going for the Fast Fiend build. Once more, it's going to have a far forward Ziggurat, upgrade into Nerub Tower to help him defend. But, you know, that defense, that Nerub Tower helped him out a lot on map 2, where KraV was aggressive. But here now, if KraV just plays defense, just plays passive expansion, it's going to be a tough game for EnTe.
I forgot to say Beetlejuice 3 times, that's why. We would have had the Crippled Mirror if you did. It's on you, Remo.
Too afraid, dude. Too afraid to say that. Horror stories have plagued my nights too much. Crypto, there it is.
You touched on it. It's a very easy map to expo on for sure. I wonder what KraV's creep route is going to be exactly. He could do like 1 or 2 small camps first, and maybe try and be working with Impale from the early game. But EnTe is so consistent with Acolyte Scout. I've literally never seen him not go for an Acolyte Scout, like multiple matchups. He's like the Blade of Undead. Blade also almost always Equipment Scout.
It's gonna figure out here what's going on soon. There's a good creep route here for the DK to go for. Just go for the turtles in the middle of the map. Either get level 1.5 or creep both green camps for level 2 right away, which is good to have. But the question is, how quickly are you gonna have to go over to the expansion? Because you have to harass the expansion. You have to steal some last hits there. But yeah, as I pointed out earlier, the first camp he can do nothing about, which is always a little bit painful if you're playing DK here against this Cryptid. And there we see him. Cryptid moving out, but not buying a Sacrificial Skull once again, which might just be a fake out. He could do that in a moment still. And let's count the pulverizers. Sea Giant, how much swinging and dinging are you in for?
He's saving them for me.
0.
Why would he cleave now? I'm not playing. The Sacrifice really wants to die. How deep is he going? He's trying to get the still.
Cryptid gets it though. Nicely played around. And okay, the DK is gonna try to get the Trapper, but if KraV does it properly, it's very hard to get this coil lasted because there's so much normal damage here for the Crypt Lord. Oh, but okay, he does get that one. That was the very least of what he had to do. And KraV, he's got the resources for the tech right now if he wants to do it, and he does it indeed. Not going for the expansion after all.
Yeah, his tech is actually just a little behind than that of EnTe's. But yeah, he's playing ghouls against fiends here, so probably gonna wanna head into a tier 3 with Lich and Orb, which worked out pretty well game 1, but that was mostly off the back of like a great start and killing a lot of Acolytes. And EnTe actually stealing one of the small Murlocs. Does that actually work?
Question, if the coil comes off cooldown, which it is. So getting the Flesh Eater here would be wonderful.
Oh, he's gonna steal it.
He's gonna get it.
Oh my god.
Getting surrounded for it. Oh, was that an intentional bait? If so, that was amazing. DK trying to fight his way out here. Not gonna be able to. Has to TP. Didn't take out a ghoul. And that TP being gone now is really scary. If there's an Impale landing, that could be almost game right away.
Wait, where were those ghouls in the middle of the map? We're gonna go for Acolytes. You see that? He has 4
He's
goals
a
in the middle.
wild man. He's a wild man, Todd. He just does what he wants.
KraV is like a general. He's like, all right, still team 6 over here. We got the infantry on the other side, like helping creep. It's kind of weird, like for an undead, usually you don't see that very often, but it feels like we're getting at this level in Warcraft 3 where like it's becoming a common thing for Night Elves to harass with their hero while they're creeping. We're seeing this more and more with Ancient of War creeping and archers. And I guess now undeads are starting to do this a lot more with the ghouls run by and counterattacks and stuff.
I love this creep here by KraV. He's getting so much experience. He got great items, by the way. Bonus intelligence, aka bonus mana on the Crypt Lord is amazing. He's gonna get a big consumable here and an option to expand at a weird timing, which is exactly what KraV loves to do in this matchup. Even, he could go for the other turtle on the other side here with all the normal damage that he has.
That would be crazy, actually. As long as you don't get caught, it's always great to do that. But I see EnTe moving to the left-hand side. EnTe has to be a little paranoid. He has to scale a lot with skeletons because he doesn't have a town portal, and his DK, I guess, is kind of back to being somewhat healthy. But if he gets surrounded without a town portal and loses his Death Knights, it's pretty much good night here. That would be a disaster. And KraV will get 3 here, even before killing the big turtle. And he's probably hoping for better than a greater invuln. As good as it is with the survivability, you want a mana item here, I think, would be way better.
Yeah, big healing can also be really good. The big invuln really not the greatest. Even one of Mana Steal would be good, but double big invuln, okay. That's honestly pretty poor finds here for him. EnTe scouted the expansion there, the gold mine in the bottom left. KraV not going for a tier 2 expo. Again, he's rushing tier 3. And now with these beetles looking for perhaps another kill. There was a purge on the DK. If that had lasted a little bit longer, it would have been scary. Impale is at the ready. But he's holding on to it.
Patience. I think he wasn't sure he could lock in specific surrounds, so he actually didn't even try to get one. A deny would be nice here, because DK is almost level 3, but not even shooting for it. Just happy to retreat. No? He's re-engaging? Oh, he's going for the DK.
But there was an anti-surround set up. Fiend is trapped. Gets coiled, but there's too much damage. That Fiend... Oh, actually with the Nova, might be freed. Nicely done there by EnTe, seeing the opening to free that Fiend. Cost him a bunch of mana, but worth it. And KraV, I think, a bit too hesitant there. He tried to go for the DK kill, but before the Lich arrived, if he had at the beginning gone for the Fiend surround right away, that could have been a kill for him. But EnTe is stabilizing now more and more.
Yeah, in terms of tier 3, they're about equal. KraV just a little bit ahead. And that Crypt Lord not quite as leveled as it was in game number 1. It really felt like he went very quickly from level 3 to level 4 here after a bit of creeping. Here is still kind of far away from that, and he's going to need that eventually for that Impale level 2. Trying to harass. Definitely being very annoying, but not achieving much.
DK in the meantime for KraV is creeping up here quite fast. Almost going to get level 2 from this. As we're nearing tier 3. KraV is going to transition here into Fiends, it seems like. Or is it just a single one? Maybe just one for now to have a bit of piercing damage in here as well. But this is a pretty good time to trade right now for EnTe. He's got the level 2 coil, he's got the aura, and KraV has like no mana left anymore on the Crypt Lord.
Ooh, the Creepjack. Gonna force EnTe away. Only EnTe right now has Unholy Aura, so he's a bit faster. I think KraV could remedy that here with a bit of a turtle kill. Yeah, he's gonna do that. And maybe then after that he can go to the marketplace and secure it. Does EnTe actually go for the kill here? On that turtle. He's trying to target down those ghouls. And he... Okay, yeah, he didn't prevent level 2, but he did steal the other turtle with a Nova here from the Lich.
Getting some ghoul kills here would be wonderful for EnTe before the frenzy is ready. DK not using the coil yet. Oh, again, he's trying to find that surround, but this is not gonna work, I don't think. Statues here. KraV is trying to be a little flashy, trying to be a bit cheeky. I think he's perhaps trying to rely on these kills a bit too much. Didn't use the coil there. Ghoul goes down at level 2 on the Lich.
Alright. Lich about to come out for KraV. He needs to buy a bit of time. He can't quite fight just yet. Maybe he should just go and creep. Yeah, the lab or something. But he's headed to the marketplace, I think. Pretty important camp on the map to creep. And the Lich is going to be a big power spike here for KraV to have. He grabbed Dust as well. I was actually wondering about this because I saw that EnTe already researched Burrow. So for KraV to still think about this is very important here. If you don't get any dust and the opponent has burrow, there is so much saving potential on their fiends, especially against a ghoul-based army initially.
KraV starting to make a few mistakes. He was over-aggressive, he lost a bit of too much tempo, and also he lost 2 ghouls now. One to the opponent where he didn't coil, and one now to the creeps. But still a very winnable game for KraV, certainly. Although the ghouls do tend to fall off the longer it goes. Creeps 1 camp only, and now walking across again. Stealing the lab would be a huge steal for creep camp. And seems like that's gonna be the idea here. That always begs for a creep deck though, being right outside your opponent's base.
But EnTe has no idea. Maybe the camp is supposed to move back to, unless he grabs this orange camp on the way. Yeah, he will do that. The KraV's working towards getting that Crypt Lord to level 4. Statues are amazing, obviously, now to replenish full mana before actually engaging. But his levels are not great in this game.
Players' forces are under attack.
Is he really gonna push into the main? That would be quite bold for KraV.
EnTe is about to have a destroy for me. It just is finishing now, so it's gonna be very important against this many beetles. I'm gonna go for the fiends since the DK is on the other side.
Oh, there was a Sapper as well. Blew up the Narrow. That's of course the downside of having the Narrow tower so far forward. I didn't even see that there for a while. But the ghouls are getting absolutely massacred here quickly. Silence on the DK and the Crypt Lord at the same time. Very nicely done. KraV not yet with the Destroyer. We have the Burrow coming in, but there is a Dust. So that Fiend is gonna fall as well. Lots of units going down on both sides. KraV not able to save that one Fiend to the right. Oh my god, he is actually. Just ever so barely. But it seems like EnTe's army here is looking a bit more impressive. As more target fire is coming through, that Fiend goes down. Crypto gets level 4. That's a big deal. If KraV here disengages, it was a pretty decent fight for him. Pretty even, all things considered, I guess.
And neither player had web, so it's kind of awkward. Like, these destroyers are untouchable in the skies over there. And now KraV is making an Abom in Undead Mirror. Oh, he cancelled it. I was like, what? I used to think that Disease Cloud worked in Mirror, by the way. And then one day I learned that he didn't, and I was like, okay, well, please never make an Abom in Undead Mirror.
Yeah, there's very rare scenarios where you make a huge army like 70 supply and having 1 or 2 A-bombs for frontline can be good. But normally they die too easy. Because they're always in the front, they're actually oftentimes easier to kill than Fiends in Fiend Mirror. And it seems like that's where we're heading, sort of. Fiend Mirror here for the most part. The ghouls have been transitioned out of. KraV now pumping out those Fiends, getting upgrades now finally. 1-0 for him, 1-0 already for EnTe. And he's gonna get the red camp, but KraV is getting valuable experience as well. Lich gonna reach level 3 over here. Zoe Mask, great item. And the question is gonna be, like, which hero is better in the late game, Dark Ranger or Crypt Lord? And it's hard to tell. Like, in an extended fight, the Dark Ranger level 3 with skeletons can also be really good.
Nah, it's the Crypt Lord, bro.
Well, let me tell you, skeletons and silence, really good. The Crypt Lord, the problem with him is, once he's out of mana, he's pretty useless, whereas the Dark Ranger, even out of mana, is gonna be good. So perhaps the idea here for EnTe should be to extend the fight as much as possible, with heal scrolls, with armor upgrades, and then win the sustain war with those skeletons.
And not too many upgrades. EnTe already had +1 for a while. KraV just got it now. They got some stacked inventories, man. Actually, EnTe a little bit less so. Maybe he sold some stuff, but he did find the very important Warsong Battle Drums. And KraV's expanding.
Is that going to be scouted? EnTe's really close around the corner. 3 destroyers getting caught. Wonderful impale to start off the fight. The Fiend's getting hit right away. Silence coming in, and the coil is going to be there. That's the thing. EnTe's DK can never be silenced, so he always gonna has the opportunity to use that coil. And this fight starting off fairly well, but again, a wonderful impale coming through. Coil hits, but Nova follow-up as well. Fiend's going down quickly. We might be going to pure destroyers here in a moment.
And many units dying from both sides. The Fiends in particular. EnTe is about to lose the destroyer. Those fall before the Town Portal goes through. And EnTe Town Portal with only 1 Fiend and 2 destroyers, whereas on the other side we got 2 Fiends and 3 destroyers. That's 2 more units surviving. Primo.
Oh my god, 2 more units? That is insane, Todd. Can he even come back from this? Well, with a Banshee tech, he might be able to. Banshees are going to be very strong. Adept training is going to be done in a moment. and that anti-magic makes all the difference in the world. However, until there's a sizable army, KraV is going to be up with the second base here. It's going to be able to mass produce in just a moment.
I like how we talked about Banshees previously, and then it's just like they engaged 1 second later after we had that whole speech about how they were going to change the game, and then they just brawled it out. It's like, yeah, let's just completely ignore the transition. That would change so much later on. Yeah, when you gotta go, you gotta go. You know, like sometimes you just want to battle it out in the middle of the octagon. You know, let it swing.
And hopefully not end up with a broken leg and be carried out on a stretcher.
Happen.
A town is under siege.
Tough choice now for EnTe. Does he wait longer for the push until he has stronger of an army with 4 or 5 Banshees and a lot of Fiends? Or does he go now while the expansion hasn't mined much yet?
I think it's go time.
Go time?
Yeah, because he still has 5k in his gold mine here, EnTe. So I don't know, like it just feels terrible to expand later than the opponent. That's why I fast expand every single game as first camp. But EnTe having 5k left, he could just fight now, and then even if they trade and, you know, he doesn't necessarily win the game, he can just expand later on. But yeah, of course, he has to do damage, because right now KraV invested a lot into the expo, and he's supposed to have less units, even though those true extra units survived after the TP earlier.
Backline Fiend damage looks a lot better here for EnTe, to be honest. Cryptlord, wonderful Impale, though. Gets into the perfect position. Ghoul's getting taken out. EnTe brought everything into this fight. He needs to make it count. DK in trouble, Invul Potion used. Destroyer's getting coiled and aiming for the Death Knight now. KraV getting desperate, going for hero kill. He's losing this fight. He seems to be losing this game.
Yeah, that last Impale was really bad. The initial one was really good, but after that he went for just the DK. He does it again. DK is almost down for EnTe, but the Destroyers were not targeting. He lands the Nova. Lich almost going down. He still has the big invuln from the early game. Might have to use that right now before Coil comes back, but he's choosing to stay patient to try and land that perfectly. 59 supply for KraV, 52 for EnTe. But I mean, KraV's army doesn't actually look that big. Cryptlord getting closer to 5, and he still has Sobi Mask and a single mana potion. And he's now on the chase. He knows there's no DK for EnTe, who's trying to rebind the center. He catches all the feeds. Oh my god, this Cryptlord and the Impales. Don't take this guy bowling. He's gonna hustle you immediately.
Takes out 2 Fiends right there. Honestly, that's kills that KraV needed. With the DK back and the mana potion pop, the mana stone that is, this is still a better fight for EnTe. He's looking stronger here. Impale lands. That's the last Impale for a long time. Now it's time for EnTe to clean up. Focus fire with the Fiends and kite properly. KraV gets level 4 on the DK, taking a lot of damage. Goes for the Invul Potion, however, and with that, he's going to survive for a bit longer. 15 seconds, in fact, and KraV seems to be taking this fight just ever so barely. DK throws the coil, Lich save once again. So many units going down. Many Destroyers left in this fight. A couple of statues on the ground as well. KraV with 6 supplies to the left is going to TP out. Smart TP here, as HP was running low and all the heroes. DK in trouble still. But there's not going to be a Nova follow-up. EnTe down to only 36 supply, but honestly, he's got strong units still left. Still, just not too many. KraV with more supply himself, but mana being the issue here for him.
And EnTe has no Town Portal. If he enters that expansion here, and he will, there is no exits. He has to win the fight when KraV finally shows up. KraV, he morphed more Destroyers. He's got so many of them. I feel like we're playing in 1.28 6 years ago. Goes right back in. A big Impale landing on all of the heroes. KraV has so much more supply. 65 to 39. I think he's done it.
Yeah, this might be the point of no return. Critical mass has been reached. Hero kill. Sometimes what this devolves to. Couple of curses here still active. Not quite dispelled yet. Lich in trouble once again. DK doesn't have mana for the Nova. Death Knight for EnTe. Running in front for the block. Does he get the kill here? A couple more right clicks. But there's Frost Armor. Oh my god! The Frost Armor actually saves him. Back at the shop, can go for a heal potion. Heal pot on cooldown! Oh my god, the heal pot's on cooldown! But he's not actually going down. Has to go for a mana potion. Heal scroll. Something. Heal scroll it was. Nova coming in again. Lich still in trouble. Cryptlord, busy at the expansion. Needs to come over to the main to save his friends. He's got the mana potion still. And just such a huge lead now for KraV. Going for the hero again. Impale, perhaps enough. Not quite to get that hero kill. And of course, super all in. He's looking for these kills. But the... Oh my god! The Cloak of Shadows coming in the late game. Are you kidding me? Impale as well. Silence as well. Everything being used. Beautiful micro by both. Buying some heal items, perhaps all out of stock. Also, pretty expensive. KraV falling further back. 66 supply. All in by EnTe. Only the heroes are left. Can he at least get the hero kills on the other side? I don't think so. GG is called. And KraV in one hell of a slot.